card in online school. If the internet were available back in the 70s.
Well, I suppose now you kind of got your revenge, no pun intended, for being.
You can say I got my revenge. I mean, I appeared in several movies. I appeared in several of Harvey's comic books. I appeared in a bunch of videos for both Eddie Marshall and MTV, as well as the stuff that's on WayneAllenHerald.com, which used to be Lurid.com. It's now called WayneAllenHerald.com.
Okay.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about what it was like doing some of those movies and stuff with him, the Killer Nerd and?
Doing something from a script and doing multiple takes was new to me because I wasn't really used to it. And eventually, I had gotten on Wayne and Mark's nerves, because I was sort of like, balking at first about doing multiple takes and everything, especially with the first Killer Nerd.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got everything down pat, and once I saw the finished product, it came to me, and I actually looked forward to doing Bride of Killer Nerd. Okay. And Bride of Killer Nerd had fewer problems, when it came to multiple takes and stuff than Killer Nerd did. Because Killer Nerd, it was like the first effort for Wayne and Mark and the first effort for me. It was a multiple takes and the fact that some days I had to get up early and work well in the midnight on a work night.
Okay, you were still working.
Getting used to.
Okay, sure.
Because I was up in Ravenna, Ohio, working on some of these scenes for Killer Nerd, and I had to drive like an hour or so back to Cleveland, and then get up at 6 in the morning to go to work the next day. And I was driving beater cars at the time, and sometimes my cars ran, sometimes my cars didn't. And oftentimes I had to go to the airport and rent a car just so I could go to Ravenna.
Jeez.
Because my cars weren't that reliable. I was driving clunkers at the time.
So it's just kind of tough times all around then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys will be doing any more movies or maybe a sequel to The Nerds? Or
Wayne wants to do a third Killer Nerd sequel, but because Troma currently holds the rights to the first 2 films, he's trying to buy the rights back from Troma, because I think Troma put the Killer Nerd, Bride of Killer Nerd disc out of print recently.
Okay.
I mean, it sold enough copies, but I think the disc is out of print right now.
No, that's too bad. Hopefully you guys can come up with some kind of agreement.
Yeah, but apparently Troma itself is having financial difficulties as well, with the economy the way it is.
Right.
Sure.
Do you have any other projects that you're working on besides the...
The only other things I'm really working on is basically some stuff for Wayne, for Wayne Allen Herald's website. And Wayne's going to come over next week with, I got this old 1977 Ford truck that I call the Nerdmobile. And we're going to do a video of the Nerdmobile and submit it to Conan O'Brien show on NBC. Because the thing is that if the winning video is picked, I get to go to California. I might have to drive the old truck to California, though. But the thing is that Conan O'Brien will blow up the old truck, and I would drive home in a brand new Lexus.
Oh, wow. Is that the duct tape truck?
The duct tape truck, yeah.
He's going to blow
it up. I'm explaining how I hate it, because people are always harassing me, wanting me to help them move. 2, the thing guzzles a lot of gas. 3, I buy this mighty putty and stuff because the fuel tank is starting to leak on it. And once I patch up one hole in the fuel tank or the fuel line, another gas leak comes up.
Well, so
that's
hopefully
the way it is with a 33-year-old truck that has spent all its time in Ohio winters.
Yeah, hopefully that works out for you and get a new car.
Yes, that's the thing is. I mean, I'm driving a 5-year-old Cavalier right now. I mean, so far it's been reliable, but still, the fact that if I could drive the truck to California, get Conan O'Brien blow it up, and drive home in a brand new Lexus, I mean, it would be worth it. And especially the Lexus is a hybrid model.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'll probably get about 40-something miles per gallon because it's a hybrid.
So are you going to put duct tape on the Lexus then, or?
Definitely not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, definitely. I don't even put duct tape on the Cavalier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still paying on. I still got 2 more years to pay on the Cavalier.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can get some kind of like full-time gig or something on Conan O'Brien. I read that you tried to try out for a part on the Howard Stern show recently. Is that?
Yeah, that's what there was a Whack Packer contest. Wade and I were in New York a couple years ago, and the Stern people were real nice about it. And the thing was is that I wasn't expecting to win anyway. I just participated because I knew, because they knew I had experience in the past, but the guy that won it, a guy named Bigfoot out of Vermont, he deserved it more than I did. Because, I mean, at least I had some professional exposure. He's trying to get his 15 minutes of fame in.
His name was Bigfoot?
Bigfoot was his nickname.
Oh, okay.
And then he did appear on Stern a few times since then, but I think there have been some crisis in his life that happened since that time.
Another thing I was going to ask you, Wayne Harold told me about some of the commercial ideas that you had, the truth in advertising commercials.
Yeah, I've often imagined commercials where you would see ads for bathroom tissue, Charmin, White Cloud, whatever, where you actually see somebody sitting on the toilet wiping their ass.
Okay.
Because I had imagined one, this is how I sang it. Come home from work and you're really cut short. You're headed straight for the pot. What do you use when you're wiping your ass? Little things mean a lot. White Cloud, because little things mean a lot. That was like a parody of a White Cloud toilet paper commercial from the 1970s.
Yeah.
And actually, they make White Cloud now, but the only place where you could get it is Walmart.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. And then I've also imagined like tampon ads where, I don't know if I could use the P word on the air, but I can imagine tampon ads where a woman is actually seen inserting the tampon into her vagina.
Wow.
And these are for
Because
television.
I didn't know if I could use the P word on the air, but it's another name for a cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm on the air.
Gotcha.
I gotcha.
I'm trying to keep the language clean.
Thank you. And these commercials are going to air on television, you would think?
I imagine it because I've always imagined a movie called Truth in Advertising where you would take actual commercials, like for toilet paper, laxatives. I can imagine an ad for laxatives where somebody is actually making a mad run to the John and letting out the diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
And then another one where, as I said, I would take actual ads, like for toilet paper, laxatives, feminine hygiene products, and actually see actually put in clippings of the products actually being used for their intended purpose. I can imagine Vagisil. A woman is rubbing, in the commercial, the woman is rubbing the Vagisil on her hand, but she should be rubbing the Vagisil on her vagina.
Yeah. That's where that goes, I suppose.
Yeah. And the same thing with the the Preparation H hemorrhoid commercials. I mean, there's that one where the itching, squirming whatever. I should use preparation H.